Matthew, if you can win at Mexico, you can win at...
It's dry.
Oh, so boring.
I would not gonna lie, if it does stop showing, I'm not be pleased.
No, it's getting warmer in 15 minutes.
Last lap, my score.
Send me your text.
Right, here we go then. Yeah,
Shut up, Matthew. Bit overcasted, times are going to be a bit slow. Hey guys, it's me, Wilson, and we're back with another video, and that is the usual F1 2020. It is round 4, I believe, of PSGL F1 season 28, and if you haven't already noticed, if you're not looking at your screen, it is Belgium.
There we go then.
And we're just going to get quick into things. I was pretty confident coming into this one. Pace was pretty solid, PB was a 40.0, definitely a 39 in it, but yeah, we just couldn't quite hook up that lap in practice, but nevertheless I was extremely confident coming into this one. I think on the day of the race as well I got told the Valentin, Vasta Racer, VSR, he's not in VSR anymore, but yeah, Vasta Racer, I got told he wasn't racing, so immediately as soon as I was told that I was like, right, this is a really good chance to win. Even if he was there, it was a good chance of win, but with Matthias leaving and then Vasta not turning up, that's really, I mean, you don't get much more of a prime opportunity to win then, because they're really my main rivals, I would say, this season. So that really gave me a boost of confidence, and that, on the day, to be honest, usually after school and stuff, on a Monday, I usually feel quite tired and stuff, but I was really energetic for this race. I was quite excited. Just motivation was higher than usual. So yeah, Let's get it back. I think I've explained it all, to be honest. I've also want to say I got a new mic, so hopefully it sounds good. It is a Logitech mic, a Logitech Pro, I think. So yeah, it's a very good mic, very good quality. So hopefully it sounds good in your guys' ends, because my old one was falling to bits, to be honest. So yeah, glad I got this. But yeah, nevertheless, we're starting our lap here. Not really going to watch the whole first lap, as it is just a banker. For a banker we're looking for maybe a 0.4, 0.5. PB banker is a 0.3 in practice, so I'd say a 0.5 at least. Coming into the last chicane now, and open the DRS. It's a 40.5, so a high 5, but it's still a 5. We've got Will G behind us. Then on our second lap, you can just see visibly, I don't think I need to explain what I've done wrong here. It's just all over the place. We lose time to our banker lap, which was already conservative enough, and then coming up to line, we go into the bus stop chicane, down to second, fling it back to the left, and up to the line, open DRS. It looks like it's going to be a 0.4, and it is. So not a horrible lap. We're really needing, that puts us pole, but I doubt that'll be top 3 at the end of the session. Yeah, it definitely won't be top 3. So we really need a good lap here. Second would be nice, but yeah, we're going for pole, obviously. Hopefully, I was aiming for a 0.1 this session, but it is a tough ask because it is quite a hard track to nail round here. So here we go, we're starting our final lap of the session. Open DRS, down into La Sauce, I think it is. Brake at the white line, slam onto the brakes, down into first gear, really let the car turn itself, and then use your throttle to turn the rear end on exit, and we're actually 300s up, so it's been a pretty good first sector for the real session. Upper Rouge, believe it or not, you can actually gain very minimum time here if you just keep the line tight and keep it tidy. Opening DRS early as you can to, yeah, just gain as much time as you can. Every millisecond counts in this league. Then through the con, probably one of the hardest parts of the track. Brake very late. Touch that curb, you can mount it or touch it. Mount this curb extremely aggressively, and this one and left slightly, and we're a 10th up. Then through it into this corner, I don't know the name, it's a hairpin though. Down into second, up to fourth quickly. Plant it on the throttle, then through no name. You really want to tap this curb, then run out wide, get so close to invalidation, but it's not invalidation. That's 10th up. Now we're going through pull on, nearly fly. We fling the car into 7th gear, flying through pull on. Rear end getting a bit twitchy, it's not visible, but it's definitely on the edge. Then through into this right left. You want to slam onto brakes down to 5th. Mount that curb slightly, and then tap this one just to get the rear end through. early on the power there, and then through this right-hander, again using all the track and exit, and getting so close to invalidation. It's a 0.3 split, so it's looking like, I think it's going on for a 0.1 nearly right now. We just need about 1500s for a 0.1 at this moment in time through Blanchimont. Pretty much easy flat in the race, and sometimes even in the rain. And then up into bus stop, brake just before the 100-metre board, use that curb in the left, take this inside curb and this one, tap it, and then up to third, plant the throttle, open DRS as early as you can, we run up to the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 40.178, which I was extremely happy with. I couldn't be happier with that, to be honest. I mean, I could, a 0.0 would have been nice, or a low 0.1, but I was pretty confident that would be pole. We're looking at our main rival from last season, season 27. He was the championship contender. Matthew does a 40.3, and I think Benjamin, that is, does a 40.3 as well, pipping his teammate into second. But yes, all eyes are on him. Can he take it from us? I don't know if we're going to look back at him, and he goes second, so about 700s off if my calculations are right, or something like that. And our teammate Gamer goes fifth, so good for McLaren. I don't know if anyone improves. Actually, I think Duncan improves and goes third. We might be able to see. Oh yeah, that's going to take a while. So Samuel Bean actually backs off, which is a very big factor, as he is second in the championship. So after our first few bad races, we are down in 6th or something. Gamer's leading, which is good to hear, and it's good for McLaren. And this is really one of the races we need to capitalise on. But is Duncan going to improve? I can't remember too much. I think he does or doesn't. We're going to figure out. He's coming around the last chicane. Can Duncan put it on pole? And he goes 5th. So he does a 1 minute 4:20, which isn't crazy. I think that's slower than his last season's lap, so I don't think he'll be too happy with that. But nevertheless, overall, this qualifying session was actually slower in general than last season. I think Gamer done a slower time, but got a higher position. So overall, the qualifying from last season was slower. I think that's just a mix of slower driver. No offence, but the grid has got slightly slower compared to last season. I think last season it was at its peak, but you know, when the game gets to the end, the grids die off a bit. But nevertheless, we do a 40.1, which is very happy with that. Yeah, we get pole by 6900. At least I said 700, so yeah, round it up 700s. There you go. Call me Einstein if you want. Most people call me Einstein.
I'm at 88 degrees.
I'm just chatting. Right. So yeah, line up the grid now. It's pretty crucial we get a good start. I was trying to heat up the tyres in this outlap, but it's pretty obvious. You can see it's quite overcasty, and I couldn't get the tyres over like 88 degrees without destroying them completely. So it's crucial we get a good start. My starts usually are probably the weakest point of my whole how do you say it, arsenal skills in racing. So it's extremely important we get a good start. Even if we don't, we can still pass you another lap, but it's extremely important we at least stay in second minimum. So we've got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and away we go. Do we get a good start? It hasn't looked anything exceptional, but Used actually gets a better one than us. We squeeze him slightly wide. We go very deep into turn 1, which isn't going to help us, but it looks like Used behind has actually been tapped, or something's went on, and we've got about an 8 to 7/10 gap to him. We do use a bit of ERS because I know they'll be trying to defend behind from other drivers, so we want to get a decent gap so we don't get involved in all that. And now we're going to keep that ERS button off down this whole Kemmel Straight, I believe it is called. And if we do look behind us, I don't know if the chaos is going on, but it does look pretty chaotic. Jordan overtakes Benjamin, as you can see in the top left, and we've survived the first straight, which is crucial to this race nevertheless. But through that, Benjamin actually got damage, and Gamer got damage, our teammate, which is quite unlucky for him, especially for the constructors. Benjamin, pretty much from what I've seen, Benjamin just went straight on, tapped Just, which limited Just's run down to the Eau Rouge, and Gamer went into the back of them when they were all braking, so just unlucky. No one's real fault. Well, it was Benjamin's fault, but it wasn't Gamer's fault. So just wrong place, wrong time. But moving on, onto lap 3. We're not in a very good lap. You can see the gap was about 8/10 there. A 45.0, that's nothing. Yeah, that's not crazy. In practice, you would be doing mid 44s on your proper first lap. But there's no point in pushing. I mean, Yus can just drain all of his ERS, and then now he's got DRS, and yeah, that's him set. I mean, you don't need to be quick to sit behind somebody, especially on a track like this. You could probably be half second slower, to be honest, and still sit behind me and keep up with me. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that was the case. But you can just see by the power in the top left. I think the gap was 7 tenths or something like that. Now look at it, it's 3 tenths, which is ridiculous. But I just wanted to point out on lap 5, as you can see, this was quite a reoccurring theme. We'd come into this section of the track, and you can see the gap goes up to 8 tenths, and then out here it's up to 9 tenths. So it was quite a reoccurring theme. I did pull a very big gap before like this straight, but yeah, and as you can see there momentarily, Yus just gains tons of time down the straight and then has his DRS. So yeah, nothing could have been done about it. We come into pits on lap 6, which is, I wanted to go lap 7 to have better tyres at the end, but I just couldn't risk getting undercut, especially when I'm in the lead. For once, we actually have a good pit box here because the driver is behind us. Yeah, it just works out well. It's hard to explain, but it just works out well. We actually slightly hold Just, which is the benefits of being that far in front in the pits when you've got cars ahead of you in the pits behind you. So yeah, he actually comes out behind Jordan, and Jordan's a second back from us. So could we actually pull the gap here? It's going to be pretty tricky, as you know how powerful the DRS is, and slipstream, as I've just shown a few minutes ago. It is looking pretty likely so far, but is Yus going to be able to overtake him? If that does happen, it isn't looking too likely. He does overtake him and gains about 2 tenths with that slipstream and DRS, and he's firmly in to our DRS. And I had a few decisions at this point. I could either drain the ERS again and try and pull that second gap, but if I do that, he's just going to drain his and catch up, or Jordan's going to get by him and then catch up to me. So that's quite a risky situation. I definitely do think I was quicker than him. As you can see, I'm pulling through the corners, but then he's just clicking his ERS button and it's going down. So Goose definitely wasn't quick. I was definitely quicker, no doubt about it. That's seen in quality and in the race. It's pretty. Yeah, you'd be an idiot not to see that. So as we set a purple middle sector.
A warning away from a pen.
Yeah.
As you hear me ask, is just a warning away from a
I made them push a
pen.
lot that lap to keep up.
And you hear me more say me.
Over.
You hear me say even
Tires
more
for the end.
talking about
And fuel.
how I'm quicker than him and stuff, and yeah, I definitely felt that at the time, but again, we can't push. We need to save ERS for the final few laps where he is going to attack, and yeah, that's what we're preparing for. So we skipped quite far on. It was just a train. We save a bit of ERS. We're actually on 51% brake bias now because yeah, I just wanted to save the rear tyres a bit more. But we're actually, how much ERS out of this braking zone? We're on 80%. So for sitting at the front and sometimes pulling a gap on use, that's very good. But as you can see in the top left, I was pretty wary of that gap every lap. And as you can see, it was 4 tenths coming out of that corner, so he's clearly used a lot more ERS than he was using before. So that was a signal to me that he is going to go for the move. Is he going to be able to make it stick? It is lap 18, so it's a very early move, and he doesn't have the pace to pull away. So is he going to be able to do anything? It looks like he's going to have a look into Lecom, but nothing is being made of it. And that has made us use a lot of our ERS, which isn't helpful. We're in 60% now. So we come across the line and do our quickest lap, because that's the first time we've pushed all this stint. And it looks like he's going to do the same thing this lap as well. So he's either genuinely trying to go for a move, or he's just trying to make us run out of ERS, but I don't know if he's that smart. So you can see visibly before that corner, it was 6 tenths the gap. But ERS slip and DRS is saving him as usual. And he's going to tuck in behind us. Is he going to be able to get it this time? He looks a bit too far back. I could kind of tell at this point that nothing was going to happen to it. And yeah, nothing happens. So we survive another lap, and it's kind of getting to the point where I was thinking at this point we're using way too much ERS trying to fight this off. I think we're going to have to at one point let him by, because it will get to the last lap and we'll be in 20% or something, and he'll be in 40, 30, and that's 10% more is what does the difference in horsepower down this straight. So you can see here I tap the ERS, but then turn it off, and you can kind of just tell there's no point in fighting it. It's pretty much impossible. So yeah, I just let him by here. I pull over to the left, and now the plan is to do what he was doing, which is pretty much the easy job, and just sit behind and not use anything. So we'll see how that goes. I've not practiced at all in dirty air or been dirty air this whole race, and surprisingly, if you don't league race, it's quite almost like a shock to the system sitting behind the car when you've been out front the whole time. So we're not doing too bad ourselves, as Just already makes a mistake under the pressure, surprisingly. So yeah, we're only 3 times behind him, which is much closer than he ever was at this point in the track. And again, I keep saying it, but it's just so obvious we're quicker. I mean, we're so much closer. I think at this point in the track he would have been about 6-7 tenths back, but we're 4 tenths back, where dirty air should be affecting us the most. So and out here, yeah, it's 4 tenths as well, even with a little slide. So you can visibly see he's pushing as well, getting onto that exit curb, and I knew he was going to overtake us and just give it everything, give it full beans. But I was prepared to have to push if I had to. I was also pretty aware of Duncan behind. I know he likes his dive bombs every now and again, so I was also prepared to. I'm struggling to find my words. I was also prepared to defend from him, so yeah, I was very aware of that. And again, just through these corners, it's just we're so much closer to him than he ever was to us. We use a bit of ERS here. I think we turn it on again. Maybe we don't. Oh no, we do. And I think about going for the move here. But yeah, we don't. Maybe it would have been better to go for here, but I didn't want to risk getting shoved off into the curb. We actually compromised his entry. I don't know what he was doing there. And Duncan actually fell a second back, so he must just be saving ERS for the last lap. But now we're coming on to the most crucial part of the race, turn 1, last lap, fighting for the win. So we do get a pretty poor exit, but now this next corner is all about setting up entry and exit, getting as close to the car ahead as you can. We break into the corner, turn it, and we actually tap Hughes just slightly, send him into a little slide. Hasn't affected him too much. The gap was 4 tenths-ish, and now it's 3 tenths. So yeah, quite a weird situation there, but nevertheless we are closer. It does look like we have more ERS despite him sitting in our slipstream for 21 laps. But nevertheless, we're going to pull out to the left hand side. His light flashes extremely early and we pass him easily. The gap's about 2 tenths going into Lake Om, and that is us. We're just going to fly away now. Now the plan, I can't really see him overtaking us now, so we're just going to push as hard as I can, going through this hairpin, really trying to maximise every inch of this track and not getting a warning. I think I was on 1 warning at this point, so we can use 1 if we need to, if it comes down to everything. But you can already see we've gained 6 tenths on use, only a few corners in, and the gap was 2 tenths. So yeah, pace has been really good. 7 tenths now, nearly 8 tenths going through this right-left section, and we're definitely going to be on for our fastest lap. This is the only lap I've really gave it everything. This was definitely the only lap in the race I've just absolutely went for it. And you can see a 14.6 split, 6 tenths up on our fastest lap, and Just is 9 tenths back, which just shows the true pace on this last lap when we're both pushing, and really shows who's got more edge over the other. So then coming into this bus stop, it's looking like we're going to take a pretty commanding win here at Belgium round 4 in PSGL. We come round the final 2 corners at bus stop, and we're going to come up to the line and we're going to take our first win of the season. And what a race it was to take it. It was a pretty boring race, but last lap controversy, I guess, made it exciting in some sense. No safety cars or anything like that, but yeah, interesting race nevertheless. I do feel the incident I better touch on before people cry. I do feel, how do I say it? It maybe should have been penalised in the sense that I probably should have dropped back to second, but I don't think tapping someone like that was worthy of a 5-second penalty. If you think that's worthy of a 5-second penalty, I think you need to go back to school or get your brains checked, to be honest, because it was a slight tap. I think Just also went slower into the corner and I went slightly faster, so it was just a combination of factors which just were unlucky, to be honest. And I think I was more deserving of the win anyway, to be honest. I done the hard work out front, and the pace was just solid all weekend. But nevertheless, I think well, I know actually, I'm pretty confident. We're 1 point behind Gamer now in the championship, who's leading. So, he had a very bad race. He didn't score any points, and Samuel Bean didn't score any points. So we've really got a season back in track. We're back in the title fight. 6 rounds left, so we can really capitalise now and carry this momentum forwards. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope the Dutchies enjoyed the video. If you are watching, the Dutchies are like, hello, I love you all. But I'm sure I know the ones that don't like me after that. But nevertheless, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you're feeling generous. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys in the next one for round 5 at Zandvoort, I believe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.